Hi, Henning Pauli here. Today we're looking at a VST plugin, which I do sometimes, but not as much as the market of VST plugins would make you believe. But this company approached me. They are called Impact Soundworks, and they got a whole bunch of things, percussion, strings, all these things that a well-rounded company has, but they do have a whole bunch of guitar and bass things. Primarily also, bass and guitar sample libraries, stuff like this, but they have this thing called, shreddage. Shreddage. They have an ecstasy amp. And where is the one that we're looking at today? This is the newest one, and it's called Venom. And it's based on the Framus Cobra. So we're gonna forget about my history with Framus and the company and whatever bad bloods there. Those amps were pretty iconic, and the Cobra, we're gonna also forget that Impact Soundworks very clearly made it look like the Cobra, and I sometimes have an issue with that. They didn't name it. It's not 100% the same thing, and they kept it a one-channel thing, so they altered it a little bit. I'm done getting on my soapbox about that. So you can see, $79. Pretty fair for an all-in-one plugin. It's one amp and pedals and cabs and all that stuff. And the Cobra was very popular in the metalcore, something earlier metal things, probably 2000 and then 10 and whatever, in that area. First, we can do something different today. I'm going to look at the tracks that I recorded for the song that you're going to hear in a second. And then we're going to go into details. I also will give you in a link below all the presets. Maybe they put them in the plugin, who knows, that I made for the track. So let me solo some things here. There's a clean guitar, and full disclosure, I did not like the delay. It sounds fine, but there is, at least on the right side, some kind of low grainy, a bit crushing thing going on. And I'll show you later, but I didn't want to use the built-in delay. Not for what I wanted to do here. So I'm using a delay from Native Instruments here. On the group, it's the replica. Okay? So this is what the clean guitar sounds like. Oops. And that whole thing, it's a lot of delay, okay? And that whole thing gets doubled. And there's also some kind of digital thing happening with this one. Weird. Then we have played on a 7-string, pretty much just the root notes. I wanted it very piano-like. Gated it, that's what you're hearing, and I applied umbrage to it, which is pretty interesting. It's a plugin from my friend Joey. You can get that for $29. It's a very, very big, cloudy reverb that even puts in some lower octaves. So and together, that's what we got there. You can see it's really just those two doubled. It's a pretty good clean sound. It got more direct when I turned the Venom delay off, because on 50% mix it did suck quite a bit of volume and tone. So I'm sending that through a Moog filter in the verse, because I wanted it to get out of the way a bit. So right here. And together with the drums, that's actually pretty damn cool. pretty hard-hitting hit there, okay? So let me quickly show you that clean sound. So we got Venom right here. I'm gonna go to my preset that I made called Serpent. The song is called Serpent, clean. And don't have the same guitar here, but that's pretty much what it is. How did that? Pretty compressed because I got a compressor, if you look at pedals, before the amp, and one in the post effects. It's a Friedman V30 and a Friedman Greenback. However, they're panned left and right, and I was only recording the left side, so we might not have that Greenback. So that works rather nice. It didn't have the bright in. Didn't need that, okay? Added some bass. That's where the gain sits. Maybe you can already hear that. Oh, that's the gate. Let's see. That noise floor has some digital stuff in it. The actual notes and the sounds of the plugins are beautiful. It is great. But all the lower level stuff feels as if there isn't enough bit range, which is weird. There should be. It's kind of strange. Then we have the rhythm. That would be this. Super heavy gating on it, which is kind of cool. So again, let's put the drums on there. Get some attack for those notes. So you add the bass to that, which was recorded with a beautiful Nolly Dingwall bass and the Anagram by Neural. That's, I mean, it's what you want. So really not a lot more going on. Sometimes the guitars are doubled in octaves. Okay, let's not do that. Yep, stuff like that. So let's look at that sound. That is called, I mean, it's very simple. Serpent Rhythm. We go into the lead channel, cranking the shit out of the gain, right? A little bit of the mids. The notch is in, and there's a tube screamer. So let's do this without the tube screamer. Without the notch. all of a sudden the amp has a lot more mids, and guess what? We're using that, of course, for the lead. That's a lot of notch there, which is why we bring in the Tube Screamer, which brings us some of that back with drive, low, and output actually halfway. So that gives us more gain, and it gives us some of those mids back. You hear that? Could be the gate, which is kind of digitally... You see that? The noise just sounds digital. The sound doesn't, but the noise does. I don't know what that is. Super defined. It'll cut through. Then we have the lead, which is really playing the clean melody. And there I'm actually using the Venom delay. It didn't bother me there. So Serpent lead. I tried... No, I'm using the distortion plus here. Yeah, because I wanted it rounder. The notch is off because I wanted the mids. Kicked the mids in a bit. Went for a different cab for the greenback. And here's the delay synced. It's a beautiful amp for leads in that setting. Notch off, otherwise you're killing all the mids. I mean, I've shown you a lot of the amp already, but let's listen to the track and then we go into a couple of other sounds. Here we go, here's Serpent.
Poison flows through the veins of evil.
welcome back. Hey, that worked. No actual amps were used, and it pretty much kicks ass, if you ask me. So here we go. What do we have? We've got an input, we've got a gate. You might want to use that. However, when the gate kicks in, might have that digitally noise. It sounds kind of like bitrate issues, but it can't possibly be. There is actually an ultra quality and real-time oversampling, but sampling is sampling rate, not bitrate. But something is weird there. But let me see if I can show you. Try to listen to the tail. See if we can crank that up somehow. Mix, here we go. That delay sounds weirdly digital. Yeah, there's something weird. Like a ring mod. But it's actually probably bit crushing. None of that matters when you just kick ass, crank up the gain, and have fun with what this amp is supposed to do, right? So we're gonna, let's just do this. We'll turn these off, take this sound and modify it. So we're gonna go to cabs, gonna go to a V30 Friedman on the edge, and we're gonna take the ribbon also on the edge, see what happens. That's a solid sound right there. Turn the comp off. Let's see what we have. We have a comp. That looks 1176-ish, maybe. Yeah. There's an EQ. There is a tube screamer. You know that. There's a distortion plus. That's about it for pushing. There's a chorus. Very wobbly sounding. I probably would use something in post. The echo, you can put that in front too. Sounds fine. That's weird. Sounds fine in front of the amp. Yeah, it's something with the post. You know, use your own post effects. There's a reverb. You wouldn't put this in front of the amp. There's the Senator, which pretty much looks like a clone, right? So I was wrong about that's all for gain pedals. That's fine. So here's the amp. Pretty straightforward, right? We've got clean. Bass metal treble, volume, you've got the bright on the clean, there's a presence and the deep for the power amp, and then a master. Then you got crunch. Nice. And then notch off. You have quite a bit more, first of all, volume, but also you have a lot more mid. So it's a very drastic difference. So you really have two distinct flavors. And on lead, you got the same controls. Really very similar from about 10 o'clock to full range. If you want the gain, you can get the gain. So cabinets, there are variations of IRs from Friedman, Greenback, and V30, and there are a lot then from other collections. There are loads of legacy ones. Obviously, you can go load your own. How did that work again? I saw it somewhere. Ah, here. You click on the dude, and then it goes into a folder. There's an on axis and off axis. Pretty straightforward. You can pan them left, right if you wanted to. Post effects are exactly the same effects that we had before. You can just put them post Malone. You can change the mode to left or right input. Making your own presets, simply save preset, that's it. That's how I got my 3 presets. You can compare A/B. There isn't too much in terms of settings here. And you're done. Pretty straightforward. And again, if we go to my lead, that's pretty damn cool. The rhythm I got kicks ass. I mean, you heard it in the track. Obviously, it's dry, but it's exactly what you want from that app. And with a more modern guitar, you have a little bit more articulation and clarity with this Friedman. That's a, 80s rock axe, which absolutely works with this amp as well. So, point is, $79 gets you 1 amp, 3 channels, couple of pedals, IRs, but it gets you that sound that gets you, especially with that notch in instant, brutal metal territory, which is what the Cobra is known for. That's what the Venom now is known for. And $79, it doesn't even get you a decent delay pedal. So I do think there is some kind of issue at lower volumes, or actually with the post effects, the gate when it grabs, there's kind of like digital happening. It's when you play quiet. A, they should look into that. They probably will. B, this is not an amp to play quiet with. This is an amp where you go... You hear it? That kind of stuff is weird. That's what you do. And I mean, could you hear that in the track? No. So with all my bitching about the digitalness in the lower volumes in the track, fuck no. I'm very happy with how that song turned out, and I had a blast doing it. Thank you, Impact Soundworks, for writing to me. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren wrote to me and said, hey, you do good videos. Can you do video for us? Yeah. And then I told her, can you please pay for the video? And we found a deal, and we did it. And I'm super happy that she did, because I had a blast for a day to work on the Serpent track. So all that being said, get it, don't get it. I put a link below. Please use it. And treat yourself to some Venom. I'm out, and Adam's at the end.